Welcome to That's Based. Happy Wednesday morning. It's the midweek check-in. I'm your host, as always, Caleb Salvatore, reporting from somewhere underground. We're laughing our way through the end of days. Brought to you by Outlaw Streamers and our friends over at Blood of Tyrants Wines. Drink bloodofTyrants.com with the promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D, like the title of the show, is going to save you 10% off your order at the checkout. Two types of wine, both red and white, along with the Liquid Freedom energy drink. One more time, that's drinkbloodofTyrants.com with the promo code BASED, B-A-S-E-D, like the title of the show. It's going to save you 10% off your order at the checkout. Go do it now. Support the brands that support this show. Happy Wednesday. We didn't have a unsolicited advice show on Monday. We did give you a bonus show on Sunday because, as our shows normally do when Monty Scott is involved, we went over on Saturday because we're trying to keep these under 2 hours now. Trying to keep them under 2 hours. Can't guarantee they'll stay under 2 hours, but we're trying to keep them under 2 hours for the most part. So we gave you a little bit of a bonus show on Sunday, and then I decided, you know what? We got home. Long story short, a bunch of stuff. When we got home, we're rather exhausted from the weekend on Easter Sunday. So we decided, you know what? Let's give ourselves and everybody else involved in the production of this show a little bit of a break. No show Monday. We'll be back Wednesday. So we're back. Welcome. Excuse me. I also, if you'll notice, if you follow my personal YouTube channel where we post clips and shorts daily, you'll notice there's 2 days of the year I don't post anything. It's Christmas and Easter. And that's because you shouldn't be focusing on me on those days. I want your undivided attention the other 363 days of the year, or 364 if it's a leap year. But those are the 2 days I want you to leave me alone. Well, we got a couple of things we're going to talk about this week. Not too much, but we're going to go over a couple of things. First off, I was looking, we're going to go see, and this will play later, we're going to go see a movie this weekend. I know, because we're like the last people on earth that go see movies in the theater still. But I saw The Accountant 2 with Ben Affleck is coming out. Listen, I don't like Ben Affleck, but the first Accountant, even though it was like 10 years ago when I saw it, was actually great. I actually enjoyed that movie. I think an autistic guy that never speaks is the role Ben Affleck was born to play. I love that role for him. Fantastic for Mr. Affleck there. But we're going to talk about the Pope. We're going to talk about some of the deportation news, and then we're going to talk about this new movie that has got everybody freaking out all over the interwebs with Michael B. Jordan in it. But first, let's hop in, obviously, to the Pope. So Pope Francis passed away early Monday morning, late Sunday night. I don't know what time it was in the Vatican. I know they said he passed away on Easter. And Pope Francis was a controversial pope. He was. I'm not going to pass too much judgment on the guy. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't his biggest fan. I think it's weird to talk shit about dead people, especially the dead pope. Just feels kind of off, right? I wasn't his biggest fan. With that said, though, I see a lot of people that like, for instance, the Pope said that neoliberalism and Christianity were incompatible. Neoliberalism is like the modern Reaganomics American view of government, right? Limited government involvement in the markets and, kind of some variation of what we have today. He said that and Christianity were incompatible, which is, of course, just a ridiculous thing to say for a whole bunch of reasons. But I think the issue here is that we've seen a lot of people use the Pope to attack Catholicism as a whole, to attack Catholics. And I don't think that's fair because the majority of the Catholics I know don't agree with what the guy's saying. That would be like using Joe Biden and his disastrous tenure as president for the last 4 years as a reason to attack all Americans. Well, you're an American. You guys elected him. You must be fine with it. Well, no. Not what you'll find is not everybody. In fact, a lot of the time, the majority of people that are represented by a leader don't like him or at least don't agree with everything he says. So I don't think it's fair to use the Pope to label all Catholics. And I also don't think it's a fair assessment to say that Catholics aren't critical of the Pope, because I know a lot of them who are. They're not loud and proud about it, but I know a lot of them who are. So he wasn't my favorite, but here's the thing. We got a new guy coming along. There's going to be a new Pope soon. And the name I'm seeing thrown out and about is this guy named Cardinal Robert Sarah. He's 79 years old, from Guinea. He's African. He would be the first ever black pope. And this is the kind of crap I'm talking about, that I was talking about on Saturday with me. I'm seeing some worrying trends from some folks on our side of the aisle. I've seen a lot of people calling him DEI Pope because he's a black guy, without even looking into him. Guys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but DEI is not just any time a black person gets a job. Like, sometimes, dare I say it, if a minority or a woman or whoever gets a position, sometimes they might just be qualified for that position. Now, in a case like Ketanji Brown Jackson, that's a little bit different. When Biden flat out said, I'm going to appoint a black woman to the Supreme Court, well, at first he kind of narrowed it down, but he made it clear that that was about diversity, equity, and inclusion. Robert Sarah is probably the most qualified pope. And a lot of people are quick to dismiss him, and this is the problem with this partisan, racial, tribalistic bullshit that we see. A lot of people on the right are quick to dismiss this guy because of the way he looks and haven't even looked into some of the stuff he said. Guys, this guy would be the most based pope in our lifetime. Bar none. The most based pope in our lifetime. And that's normal. African Christians are some of the most devout, hardline Christians you'll see. I'm going to read you some of his quotes. So a lot of the concerns with the current pope that I've seen from people on the right, or I guess now former pope, that I've seen from folks on our side, is that the way he went after Donald Trump and J.D. Vance and others about immigration. Well, here's what Cardinal Robert Sarah said about immigration. He said, those who use the Bible to justify mass immigration are bewitched. Does that sound like a guy who's a woke DEI hire to you? Sounds pretty based, if you ask me. I got a couple of other quotes from him here on some different issues. So I've been doing some reading on this guy, because whether you like it or not, the Vatican plays a large role in global politics and global social interaction. They do. The Vatican has wields a massive amount of influence culturally around the world. If they so choose to use it, they can put pressure on countries or lay off of countries. Recently, specifically under this administration, the Vatican has put some pressure on them. In fact, the Pope Francis would get out of the hospital and just start talking shit on J.D. Vance. That was like one of the first things he did. So we can have... so let me read some more quotes from this guy here. Excuse me. So in 2016, at an address at the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast in Washington, D.C., Cardinal Sarah expressed concern that God is being eroded, eclipsed, and liquidated in the United States. He highlighted issues such as the legalization of same-sex marriage, mandates on contraception and healthcare, and policies allowing individuals to use restrooms aligning with their gender identity as signs of a demonic threat to American society. In June of 2024, during a lecture at the Catholic University of America, Cardinal Sarah referred to Joe Biden as a self-identified Catholic president, exemplifying a cafeteria Catholic, someone who selectively adheres to church teachings as they see fit and as it supports their viewpoints. He criticized Biden for adopting what he termed the practical atheism of secular culture, suggesting that many Catholic institutions in the U.S. have become Catholic or Christian in name only. Despite his critiques, Cardinal Sarah also acknowledged the potential for the United States to be a place of spiritual renewal. He noted the presence of vibrant Catholic communities, young priests, and strong Episcopal leadership as signs of hope. He urged American Catholics to reject practical atheism and to foster the growth of their faith communities for the sake of the global church. In 2016, in his book, God or Nothing, Cardinal Sarah referred to transgender ideology as a crude lie and nightmarish totalitarianism. He asserted that a man will never become a woman, and she will never become a man. A woman will never become a man, no matter what mutilations one or the other agrees to undergo. During a keynote breakfast at the 2016 keynote address at the 2016 National Catholic Prayer Breakfast in D.C., he labeled gender ideology as a demonic threat to the family and religious freedom, criticized policies such as transgender bathroom access. We already read that part. He has condemned what he terms ideological colonization, accusing Western nations of imposing gender ideology on developing countries through economic aid and political pressure. He believes this undermines traditional family structures and religious beliefs, which is what I was yelling at you guys when we were going over the Doge USAID thing. When we were talking about, hey, look, they're going after these devoutly Christian and Muslim countries in Africa and the Middle East and trying to undermine them that way. They're not going to just give these people guns, but they start pushing these radical transgender ideologies and they'll hold it over their head in the form of aid, and that's how the money gets laundered. And that's exactly what you're seeing. And this guy called that out. So just because he's a black guy doesn't mean he's just woke DEI hire, guys. You got to get that through your fucking head. This guy, listen, with the way the world, whether it be in America and Canada and Europe, the way the world, South America, the way the world is drifting toward conservatism right now, a based pope like this guy would be the cherry on top. This guy would be like chef's kiss on top of everything. He certainly doesn't mince words with what he's saying here. I would be thrilled, and this guy appears to be the leader. But don't tell the liberals what I just told you. Can you guys do me a favor there? Don't tell the liberals what I just told you. Let's wait till let's get them all on board. Oh yeah, black pope. And they won't even look into him because that's how blinded by racial bullshit they are. We'll get this guy through, and then he'll come in and just be based as all hell. And he'll be the weapon that we wield against progressivism in the church. Don't tell the liberals everything I just told you. We need to keep this a secret. But yeah, so chill out for a little bit. Robert Sarah, Cardinal Robert Sarah, look into him. This would be a breath of fresh air. Me as a cradle Catholic, we were talking at dinner the other night about it. And I told her, I was like, this guy might be, like, if this is really who we're going to get, this would be like the most conservative pope in our lifetime. And she said, with all the shit we've been through, I think that's what we need. I think that's what we need. Someone who doesn't embrace communism, someone who doesn't encourage open borders, someone who doesn't do lunches with drag queens. I'm not going to bash the Pope any more than I already have. But this is a welcome change among a lot of people. I mean, how would you like to be J.D. Vance right now? You drop the college football trophy, and then 2 days later, you visit the Pope, and the next day, he dies. I mean, like, Vance is leaving a warpath. I would not want to be the next person J.D. Vance is supposed to meet with. There's a lot of guys sitting somewhere. There's a guy listening to this show going like, hey, how do I set up a meeting between J.D. Vance and my mother-in-law? Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you can actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.